do these lights work?
Are we live now?
I think we are. Let me turn on my light real quick. Whoa, okay. Whoa, okay. This light's so bright. Okay, we're live. We're live. Hi guys. Hi guys. We're live. Come on. Okay, we're live. This is Utechpia. Hi guys, my name is David. I got Jeremy on the line again. He's joining us for a live stream. Today we're talking about light in motion. Check out those lights that we have in the background here. I got the CL2000. Jeremy's got the CX8. But before we talk about the light, let's introduce ourselves just a little bit, Jeremy. You gonna do a shoot off now? Oh, my light's on. That's pretty dangerous. Sorry guys for blinding you guys.
I don't want to blind myself, man.
Basically, I'm a photographer. I've been shooting photography for about 10 years. I've been mainly using flash as my main photography light. And with the technology moving, I'm starting to look into LEDs. And I think these are the perfect LEDs. I've been playing around with these. I've been loving them. Jeremy over here, he's been doing wedding photography and pre-wedding for over 15 years now. And he's dabbed into a lot of LED lighting, and he's been using a lot of these lights for seminars, workshops, and actual professional shoots. So he's got a lot to share about. So let me introduce you guys to Jeremy.
Hi guys, I'm Jeremy again. I'm here. Why am I here again?
Because you're awesome and you're an expert, and I love having you on this channel, Jeremy.
So last time we talked about software. This time we talk about hardware. Something that is hot. Well, it doesn't burn. It's not hot, but it's bright. Can tell you that for sure. Very bright.
Yeah, I mean,
so this what I'm having here right now is the Light Motion Stella Light Pro Clx10.
Yes, the Clx10. That's got like 8,000 lumens. Right. I got the CLX. I got the CL2000. This one is a smaller, more compact one. So there's like the two that you see on the screen right there, right? Let me turn it off because this thing, for the size, it is really bright. I mean, this light, this bright. I'm sorry for blinding you guys, but it is really, really bright, and it's compact. It's got a little weight to it, but the battery's built in. It's water resistant. You can put this down into water for like a meter deep, and it'll stay submerged for 30 minutes and work just fine. It's got a built-in battery. It takes about 105 minutes to charge. When it's fully charged, you got about 50-minute runtime. It's got a good color temperature of 5600 Kelvin. It's got above 90 CRI, above 90 TLCI, so really, really high spec. 2,000 lumens. So what do you have there, Jeremy?
This is the Clx8. It has 8,000 lumens. Similar to that, but the spec-wise, I think this is a little bit more powerful. Well, obviously it's more powerful.
It's 4 times more powerful.
The CLI is 93 and the TLCI is like 94, so it's a little bit more accurate than the one that you have. But the only downfall for this compared to yours is the IP rating is only 54.
Right, I got IP rating of 68 on this one, so this one can go down in the water, and it can actually stand a good drop too. Yeah. So
the one you have is actually much more doable than this one, but then this one's way more powerful.
4 times
more
powerful.
It require a little bit more to do outdoor and fight against the sun. This one here is just enough to fight against the sun, like in outdoor shooting, sunset shooting, whatever, it works.
Right, this is perfect for like when you're indoor, when you're like in a small confined area. This is perfect because these lights, the nice thing is, it's basically you shine the light on your subject, and what you see is what you get in the camera. There's no guesswork in figuring out like what kind of results am I gonna get with the flash, because you shine the light, you see the light, and it's compact, so you can take it into any area and set up and have someone hold it and not have to worry about big soft boxes, big umbrellas, or light stands, or being escorted out for security. It just works. It's really nice. So Jeremy's light's a little bit bigger, this one's smaller, but these are the 2 lights we're talking about today. And basically, we're also going to talk about how to use the lights.
You know why light's bigger? Because I'm bigger.
You're a little bit taller, but let's not. We're off subject. We're moving on to the next slide.
No, we're on the right subject here. I'm bigger. That's period.
All right, you're a little bit bigger than me. All right, so we got a kit that Amazon sells, right, Jeremy? So what's in this kit here?
So I have the same kit here. It's the portrait kit that they have. It comes with the Clx8 as well as the one you're holding, which is CL2000. This is perfect for if you want to start your portrait. If this is lighting you want, the first time you play with lighting, this is perfect because it has all you need. Just look at all the accessory it comes with. If you could go to the next, just give it the next slides, I think. We can talk about that.
All right, let's take a look at the next slide. Oh, wow, yes.
Oh, so this is basically some of the diagram how this light works. So all the battery is built in. I'm not an engineer, so I'm going to talk about that. But as you know, the battery is built in here. It's pretty tiny.
Yeah, actually,
the light for almost an hour.
Yeah, actually, that light is the CL2000. If you look at the switches on the top, that's from the CL2000. So it's really amazing how the bulk of the weight of all that is the battery and the frame, because that's the two biggest component in the light. It's a very simple light. That's why it's very robust. It can have shock proof of dropping down 1 meter and it still stays strong.
The reason why they built this way, because this company used to make underwater lightings.
Right, they have that experience. Yes.
So they have experience putting doable and solid, won't drop, won't water leak lighting. So they had, compared to all the outside other brand of LED, their build quality is, I would say, super.
Yes, and I really love the fact that they're robust in that, because as professionals, we carry our equipment around in backpacks. Sometimes they drop out of our backpacks. Sometimes some guest knocks over our light stands, it falls down. I don't really care about the light breaking as much as I care about the light breaking on the day of, and I don't have my equipment to continue shooting. So with really sturdy equipment like this, where it's simple and built with really high quality solid material, I feel really confident that in case this drops, I still have a light that works. So kudos to Light and Motion for building really high quality light that's really robust. Kudos to Light and Motion.
Oops.
You always do that to me, Jeremy, every time.
I was trying to turn it off. Okay, moving on.
No worries. Yeah, so this is the light that you're holding, Jeremy. So you already talked about the specs, right? Yeah.
So we can move on to the next.
Yeah.
Oh, did we talk about the color temperatures? The color temperature is 5,600 Kelvin, so it's pretty dead on the color balance.
Right, and then the 5,600 Kelvin is good for our modern day society right now, because everywhere you go, you have high quality LEDs around, and when you're shooting with other light panels, or if there's other light sources in a room, usually it's around 5,600 Kelvin, which is also daylight, which is the very natural temperature, and that avoids getting that yellow cast of lights. So. And the good CRI and good TLCI too, those two numbers, as long as they're above 90, means you have very high quality light. For example, if you have an apple that's red, right, and you shine the light on it, well, the apple still better look red, because a high CRI means you're going to reproduce light that's very natural to how the sunlight produces light. So you're used to seeing that color. Whereas a low CRI, like a CRI of 80 or 70, those are terrible. And that's not what we have here. But those light, if you shine the light on an apple, it might look green, or has a greenish tint at night.
It will have a cast. It will have a green cast or somewhat.
Green or magenta is usually what people say. But yeah, high CRI. So this all the lights that we ever talk about, because we use these in the professional environment. So we want all our lights to have CRI and TLCIs above 90. Of course, and what Jeremy has there has 8,000 lumens, so it's pretty bright.
Because for current day, modern days right now, the color temperature is more important due to the fact that our camera right now has live view. Yes. So if you look at your camera and your LED, which let's say you buy some other brand, which is cheaper ones, and they have color cast. Yes. When you look at the live view, you just feel like, do you want to click that shutter because it's kind of green? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yes.
So in your live view, you want to make sure that the lighting temperature is correct. I mean, I know for a fact that you can actually fix the color temperature in post, right? This is pretty easy. But then because of camera right now, you could actually see the good and bad of the lighting. It kind of have you hesitated, right? So it's good to have good accurate color balance in your light.
Right, and also you have to remember that if it's not accurate, like you have a 3,000 Kelvin, as long as everything is 3,000, then it's fine. You can fix it in post. But if you have something that's 3,000, you have something that's 5,600, and you have daylight shining in the window that's also around 5,600 Kelvin, then you have a lot to work with, and it's kind of tricky to kind of get the right color temperature, right? So you want to have something that's consistent with daylight, because there's daylight everywhere. So you're using these lights to sometimes replace the ambient light, but sometimes you want to just enhance the ambient light. So it's best that they match the ambient light as much as possible, which is generally 5,600 Kelvin.
Exactly.
So we moved over to the spec sheet of the CL2000, which is what I have here. It's a smaller light than the light that Jeremy is holding. This one has 2,000 lumens, so it's about 1/4 as much power in terms of brightness as other light, but it's also smaller, more compact. It still has a CRI and a TLCI above 90. It takes about 105 minutes to charge, and once it's charged, this thing runs for 50 minutes on high power. So if you run at a lower power, it'll last even longer than that. Same CRI, same color temperature as the one that Jeremy has. So that way, if you have these two as a kit, you have consistent lighting between the two light sources. And
I love that little light.
Yes, the little light's nice, right?
Yeah,
what do you like about this?
I mean, the only thing that if I don't need to do anything outdoor, with indoor in hotel or in indoor areas, that light is perfect. You can do anything from being key light to backlight to do product shots, wing shot, you name it. You could do anything with that light, just so easy. Because it's bright enough that you could basically do anything. And it's small, and it's tiny.
And what I love about it is like when you have an assistant and you ask them to hold the light, well, when you ask the assistant to hold a flash, you have to tell them exactly how to point it, and then because they don't know how it's going to look, so they just have to hold it there. Whereas you ask the assistant to hold this light, you tell them, okay, I want you to shine a light in the face, and you can adjust it so it looks like that. Okay, perfect, hold it there. So then the assistant can see what the light's doing, and they can kind of hold it there. Whereas when the assistant's holding the flash, I honestly, I'll tell my assistant to hold the flash like this, right? And 5 minutes later, I look back at her. She's like, yeah, I'm still holding the flash. I'm still holding. Oh, come on, right? It's all over the place. But with this, she sees what she's holding the light for, right? So
what you see is what you get, and what he sees or what she sees is what she gets too, or he's getting.
Yes. So my assistant happens to be a woman, but there are other assistants too, and what he sees is also what he gets. Except if she sees something, he doesn't see it, but never mind. We're not going to get into that. Anyway, next light.
Let's talk about the accessories they have.
Yes, right.
So this comes with the kits. Plus more. They actually come with the gel, but I forgot to put the gel kits in there. But they have the CTO gel and everything.
Like this one. Right, the CTO gel pieces.
So, actually, the remote doesn't come with. The remote you have to purchase separately, which the remote we'll talk about that. I think I have a slide to talk about that later. So.
Yeah, you do have a slide about that later.
Okay. So let's talk about some of my favorite tools in there.
Sure.
Okay.
Next slide.
So, next slide, please.
All right.
It is actually.
The Fresnel.
That's it. Now, so the Fresnel actually nailed down this light to a 25 degree, which can create a spotlight effect. You know how like those Hollywood spot from above?
Yes.
Like that. So personally, I love that style. When it comes to making portrait, it creates that mystery, create the shadow. It looks amazing. And also, if you put this, and for outdoor use, you actually magnify the light. So when you go outside, go against the sun, the light becomes more powerful. You could actually go a little bit further away distant to get lit on the subject. So this is really awesome. Love this. Love this tools. Yes,
Fresnel just focuses the light in a stronger beam. You can condense it. Perfect. So what else does it come with? A diffuser dome, like one of these.
There's a diffuser domes, You always put that on indoor, softer, You always want softer light, always.
Softer light is nice, it's very pleasing. If you see the thumbnail of this video, you can see that the light of the model that Jeremy shot, beautiful light on her face. You would think it came from a natural light source on an overcast day, which is like the perfect lighting. But no, that was lit with these LEDs and probably using this one or other diffusers, basically a modifier to soften the light. So this thing definitely helps soften the light. Comes included with the kit.
It helps.
Yes,
it definitely helps.
Yeah.
And then one thing, I really like the barn doors, especially when you try. Sometimes you want to put the light next to the wall, and you want to block some of the light. And those barn doors really comes handy.
Right. So you can definitely control. Right. Because you don't want
control.
Right. Like if a wall is here, you don't want the light to spill into the wall. So what you do is you close this barn door so the light doesn't hit the wall, because otherwise it will light up this wall. And if it's like a green wall or red wall, then now the focus is on the wall and not your subject.
You have a light strip on the wall, and that doesn't look pleasing. So with the barn door, it really helps.
Yes, it directs the light. So that's what barn door does, and it's part of the kit as well. Here's the remote.
And a remote. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with the kit. You have to purchase it, separately. But it can help you remote. Let's say if you don't have an assistant, and you just set up the light all by yourself, and then you want more power, less power, or turn on, turn off. You have the remote and remotely turn it on and control the power. So that's pretty neat.
Yes. So this is one.
Sometimes you want like multiple light setting for portraiture. Let's say 3 or 4 light. You don't want to go in every single light and just change it. With that, you can stand there. It's kind of like the flash remote. You could basically go to different light and change the powers. Pretty awesome.
That was what I was going to ask you. So one remote, you can program it to control multiple lights individually and as a group too, right?
Exactly.
Cool. Very cool. So why talk about?
So let's talk about why LED light. The world right now, everybody's talking about off-camera flash, off-camera flash, off-camera flash, off-camera flash. But why LED light?
I don't know. I've been using off-camera flash for over 10 years. I take great photos.
Yeah, you've been shooting for 10 years. Yeah. There's a lot of people who my first time playing with lightings. Doesn't matter what kind of lighting. Lighting is lighting. Flash, LED, whatever it is. And LED basically is easier. Because of the technology right now that we have with live view cameras, what we see is what you get. With continuous light, you could actually learn lighting much easier and easier to control.
Yes.
And on the other hand is, have you realized that, do you watch movie?
Of course. Who doesn't watch movies?
You watch movie, you watch TV shows, right? Do you think they use flash to lead up those scenes?
Of course not.
Or constant light?
Because it's not a frame, right? When you take pictures, it's a frame. When you're watching a movie, you have to continuously flash every 60 frames or 50 frames of the movie. So you have to have a continuous light source.
So this is it might not be perfect. It might not be legit, but this is how my view is. When lighting happens in paintings and then translate to photography, it's always natural light or window light or reflective light. Okay? And then later on, when it comes to movies, they create those hot light, right? Artificial light, they're all continuous light. Until they have come with photography. Photography, they kind of came up with flash.
Yes.
Because photography, you have a camera, you're on the go. So you have a flash on top of the camera, and that's where flash comes in. But originally, we talk about lighting always begin with natural light or continuous light that you can basically shape. So LED is actually older than flash. You think about it. Not LED. Continuous light. Okay.
Right.
But then at some point, if you want to create LED back then with continuous light, it's going to be big. Have you seen this old continuous light? They have to be really big and really hot. Okay.
Yes.
Those are not good.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
With technology grow, they can make this now. Small. Actually, you're smaller. Small, tiny LED, which is powerful.
Yeah.
So it basically brings continuous light back to the market right now.
Yes.
Okay. So the back.
It makes
imagine
sense.
how dinosaurs come back in nowadays. It's pretty scary. But LED continuous light, not LED. I'm sorry. Continuous light is back because of technology.
In LED form. Right. Right. Because before. And before, the reason why photographers use flash is because small flash units are very compact, lightweight. But what they do is they have capacitors in there. So they charge up the capacitor and they do one burst of bright light. So that's how they're able to keep the size down and be very power efficient and provide you that one burst of light, because one shot is all you need. But now with continuous light and the technology, you're able to get that much power still now with LED light. So now you have the benefit of a continuous light, which means what you see is what you get. You can model with this light, and as you light your subject, photographers can work with videographers too, because the light is shared between the photographers and videographers. So lots of benefit of going with continuous light as well.
Well, also that nowadays, that was like 10 years ago. If you're a photographer, you take photo. If you're a videographer, you take video. You don't really mix, right? But nowadays, people can take pictures and take video at the same time because the camera can do both.
Right. They call them hybrid shooters.
If you only have flash, you can't lit up your video.
No.
If you have LED, you can lit up your photo and lit up your video.
Yes. Yep.
Right?
Exactly.
More reason.
And just like a few years ago, actually LED technology has been improving so much, because just a few years ago, LEDs weren't bright enough and the CRIs weren't high enough. So you didn't have good colors with LEDs. Like they always looked off and they weren't ever bright enough.
The older version of LED always goes to the tin or green tint.
Yes.
So it's not good for photos.
No. Right. I mean, we're just at the beginning where LEDs is that actually just starting to pick up and become a very viable solution for photographers. So That's why we are talking about LED today, because the technology is setting up for the perfect comeback for LED, aka continuous light, to hit the photography market, the photographer's market, as well as the videographer markets.
Exactly. Yep. So I personally been using LED for a long while now. So for example, this picture is actually lit by LED, believe it or not. Oh, wow. It's not a flash.
And you can't tell. You definitely cannot tell.
You can. Right now, if you look at her face and the guy's face, the gradient of the shadow is pretty good. But if you look at the clothing on the chest of the female, it has hard shadow because it's a really, I don't have any diffuser on that. Yes. It's a hot light source. But that's actually what I wanted. So I have a lighting diagram on the next slide, I believe.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go. See, basically it's just one LED on there, and there's both person. I don't have to lit up everything because I want to create this like a movie and mystic kind of mood in there. Yep. So one light is more than enough. And a lot of people would like to put a backlight in there, but in this case, because they back against the wall, that's not a good idea because it make. I mean, even though it lit enough, the wall will be bright, and then it will kind of kill the mood. So in this case, I rather keep it dark, keep it moody with one light, and I like the result.
The result looks good because harsh light exists in reality too, because you're pretty much simulating like a really high noon light coming in through the window. This is believable whether it's a flash, whether it's an LED, or whether it's natural light. I mean, coming back to a photographer, our job is to make a picture believable and use light however we can to make the picture believable. And you've done it just as well with LED in this picture as if you had used flash or as if you had used natural light. So good job.
Oh. Also, they have myths about saying that if you use a flash to take a picture, the picture is sharper, which is true, yes or no? Back then, yes.
It is. Yes.
But now the camera is so good, the lens technology is so good, it doesn't really matter what light you use. You can use a cell phone flashlight to lit something, you can still have that sharp image. So that myth is gone.
Well, I would challenge you because I think that myth has the advantage when you're in a dark situation, right? So when you're in a dark situation and the flash fires really fast at instant burst and turns off right away, you have a slow shutter speed, which normally, if you have continuous light, the slow shutter speed being open and then closing will cause your image to be blurry. But even if the shutter speed is open and takes the time to slow, your flash bursts, right, and freezes the motion. So that's why they say flash photography is sharper, because in that situation, it can freeze action in that situation only. Yeah.
I wouldn't say you're wrong, but to correct that, to add on to that is that back then with the film photography and translate to digital, people keep saying I have to use ISO 100 to take picture.
That's the funniest thing I've ever heard, and I hear that all the time.
Because if I increase my ISO, I get noise in my pictures. Now that's old tech.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying. That with the new tech, with all the new technology right now, I can freaking shoot a picture. I think this one here is at least 6400 ISO. I'm telling you.
I wouldn't be surprised because I shoot 6400 at weddings all the time. Yeah.
So like I said, the tech basically erased all this myth.
Right.
It erased all the problems.
Very good.
You got love to technologies, right?
Yeah. Cool. Let's move on to the next picture. Ooh, I like this one. Beautiful shot. What's the story behind this one, Jeremy?
I think I did a photo walk for Sony back then, and they hired. This is Vegas, so they hired Albert and Mara.
Surprise, surprise. How did I guess this was Vegas?
Yeah,
well done.
So they actually booked like a hotel room, and then like a whole bunch of Sony users is basically in there and shooting. So I was teaching how to use the LED. Basically, they have they have on top has like a ceiling light already, but it's not fascinating. If you look at the table there, right, that's the light from those. It doesn't look good. So I have an LED I believe I have an umbrella in front of it, but
should we look at the diagram?
Yeah, please.
There we go. We don't know if you use umbrella or not, right?
No.
But you have one light source. Yeah.
Just one light source. Because they're so close enough that, the one light source is enough. So, and put a Wong gel in front of it, and boom, that's what you get.
Yeah, and I like that the light is more dominant on her because you want your eyes to kind of lead into her directly. So it makes sense to only have one light. That's all you need. It just focuses.
Actually, it doesn't feel problem. If you look at her dress is like a mirror. At some point, if the light can move in different direction, it gets some speckle on her and also the guy's face. So that's kind of tricky.
Yeah, I can imagine that. And again, when you use LED, you can kind of adjust the power and move the light accordingly because you can see how much is reflecting and where it's reflecting. Versus with flash, you set up and the only time you see the result is you fire a test shot, right? And then, okay, too much. You move the flash here, fire a test shot, move the flash here and fire a test shot. So the benefit of having the LED here is just intense because you can see what you're getting.
If you notice my pictures, when I use the LED, I don't intend to use it to bright up the whole scene or bright up the whole person. Only partial of them. So that's how movie lighting looks like. So my approach when I use LED is I want to mimic the movie lightings, and that's the image I want to get. Not like text sharp or contrasty, vibrant, colorful image, but movie image that has shadows, had the mood in it.
Right, and that's what people gravitate towards today because we live in a world where video and movie dominates our lifestyle. So when we see a picture that looks too like real life, it looks boring. It looks like real life. But when the picture looks like a movie, then you kind of get into that fantasy world. It's like, oh, this is like the actors, the actresses, and this moment, this passion that they're sharing, this love. You tell a story when the lighting looks like cinematic lighting. Beautiful.
See, you realize how come I don't use the word cinematic, but use the movies?
Why?
Because cinematic to me is more like high tech. Like right now, have all this like 3D animation that's cinematic. And when I see a lot of photographers, they call themselves using cinematics, and those are mostly edgy, the darker, and has a color grading in there. But when I say movie, because movie to me is more like old school, like back then with the old Hollywood, like 30, 40 years ago. And the lighting is like amazing lighting back then. So I want to mimic those old school lighting, not the new trend how they do the 3D animation ones. So I always use the word movie over cinematic.
I think I would definitely agree with you. And I like the old lighting better because when I think in my head, like movie lighting, I do think of the old lighting. Because today with modern technology, the cinematic lighting, it's kind of too bright because they have the advantage of making it like so realistic that now you don't have the movie-like effect. You have the realistic effect, which we don't want because we want to live in this fantasy world where we have a look that looks like a movie. So it's an art form, definitely. But LEDs
have you seen some of those newer sitcoms that they bright up the whole thing?
I have not.
I mean, okay, you know the really good one, Seinfeld. You watched Seinfeld, right? Back then.
A couple episodes.
Some of the old sitcoms and compared to the new ones, the color is shifted. The new one's much brighter. While back then, Seinfeld, you kind of feel that it's normal, like real environment, right?
Yes,
that's what I'm talking about.
Yes, yeah. It's definitely changing, and everything that's old is now trendy. And it's unique and it looks better because it's not so typical because everybody's doing the same thing. When you want to stand out from the crowd, that's when you go back to something old and classic. Cool.
Oh, I never follow trends. Trends comes and goes.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. Ooh, I love this photo.
Okay, this one is shot in Kyoto. It's a model in what do I call those? Kimono? Yeah, kimonos. So we put a kimono, and then basically we have a guy holding a light from. I think I have diagram next on the left side. Just one LED. Just basically
one LED light, yep.
Just on her face. You see how her hand is not even lit up. Just that.
Right. Did you have to use the Fresno to get the spot on? Just make it very spotty?
Wait, hold on.
To get that look?
I take that back. This is not even an LED. It's a flashlight.
Or a low power LED. You could have used this in low power too.
It's from a distance, so.
Right. And like normally if you were to get this kind of light with a flash, it's hard because you would have to get a snoot to really control that light. Whereas usually LEDs typically usually have a narrower beam. And if you need to, like you can add a component like this and really focus the light and have a very narrow beam. So that's the benefit of having a narrow beam.
Do you know how I make a scoop?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, if you have a paper
Put it
nearby, that's all you do. Exactly. Yep. But really nice use of light here, and because LED is low power, you could adjust the power low, and you can focus on just her face. That gives you the sense of focus, right? Where the person, where we as a viewer of the image looks when we look at the photo is where it's lit up the most, and that's her face, and that's exactly where you want to draw our attention to, right, Jeremy?
Exactly. You nailed it.
Good photo. All right. Wow, I love cars, and I like this. This looks nice.
This one's top. You see how basically the couple is kind of in between two cars?
Yes.
So if you use a flash, it's just going to bounce all over everywhere. So
it's all
if you
reflective
look
surfaces, right?
So if you look at the next slide with the lighting diagram, you see where my lighting is. And basically, I got one normal. I got one with the CTO on. You can see. If you look closely on the car's fender, you see a blue light and an orange light there. So that's kind of evened out.
Yeah,
so I
like
have two lights there
right?
shining on now.
This one.
To create that.
You got this light here. I see like some orange light, right? So that's like probably the one with the color temperature orange gel, CTO.
Yeah, because you see how on the left light, the reason I don't put CTO on it because I don't want the CTO cast on the car. I don't want to turn it to warm.
Oh, right. But you want the people to be warm.
I want the people to be warm, so the CTO is on the people. And the other car, see?
That makes sense. Very cool.
Yep. So sometimes you don't just lit up the subject, you also want to lit up the foreground or the background as well to kind of match the subject as well. And that's exactly what I did here.
Yeah, and I could see how versatile these LEDs lights too, because you're setting them up next to the cars. You want something compact and lightweight. If you don't have umbrellas, you can have somebody hold this too because they're so small and compact. So
I believe I tried with a black flash and flash before it just spilled all over and it's not pleasant. I mean, it's not a bad picture, but it's not what I wanted.
Right.
So using this on LED, it had a much pleasing look than I expected. So I really love this.
Yeah, I mean, you probably don't really consider this, but LEDs are always easier and quicker to set up, partially because they're smaller, lightweight. That's one thing, but also what you see is what you get too. So pretty much you just kind of move it around until it's perfect, and you just lock it in there or have your assistant hold it there. Right?
This is not. Do you know where this is? This is in Vietnam.
Oh wow!
Whole lot.
Oh
yeah.
Oh wow!
So we're basically finishing our photo at nighttime, and we're walking to dinner, and we saw these two cars just parking in the pathway.
That's not even their car?
No. So we basically just go say, hey, let's lean another car and take a picture.
You gotta be quick.
Do it quick. You gotta be quick.
Right. You got the whole issue security and everything. Like, but if you're quick, no one says a word, right? But if you start taking like 5 or 7 minutes, then I start, wandering around and people are starting to ask questions. Who are these? Why are they here? And then the owners of the car start coming out. It's like, what's this commotion? And you have a huge mess.
I mean, if you look at her clothing, she's in like a more vintage look, right? And then look at the car. Isn't it perfect?
Yeah. I don't even know where you would see that car there. That's pretty cool.
I don't know. We just spotted. So, hey, it's gonna go in there. Get a picture of the car.
Very cool. You're making great use of these Stella lights, man. CLX8 and CL2000.
I mean, they're powerful and small enough that it's actually good for travel.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah, because you took these to Vietnam, right? And you don't have to worry about security hassling you around. And sometimes you can just use them as is. You don't need like a big diffuser because as is, you put this little dome on and you get a pretty good diffuse light already. Very nice. Cool. Let's move on to the next one we got here. Ooh, I love this one. The perspective here is very refreshing. You don't see this kind of perspective very often.
So this is in Hong Kong. I'm actually inside the tram, you can tell.
Obviously, yes.
So if you look at the tram on the other side, they have the headlight, right?
Yes, yes.
The tram not in, they actually stop. Everything's turned off. There's no light. You can tell inside is no light. So even the headlight's turned off. So basically, the assistant is down there, basically holding the light, shining in that
emulating
light.
the headlight.
Yeah. That was inside it, and the frame shooting outside.
That's so classy because then I get the sense of urgency. I get the sense of this tram moving towards them, but really the tram is shut down and parked, but you have the light on because someone's holding an LED light in front of them.
I mean, imagine using a flash on this one. I mean, they do stop. They don't stop a lot, and people come. We didn't ask before we go and take a picture.
No.
The captain said, "Okay, that's fine. just as long as fast, right? But we don't want to play around too long without flash, right?
No.
So having light shine and just really quick pose a little bit and boom, gone.
Right. Like I love LEDs because you turn it on, you could dial it down, dial it up, and then you got your shot. You see what you get, you fire, you're done. Whereas with flash, you have to do a couple of test shots and then move the light around, do a couple of test shots, and you have to set it up. So I see how LED light is so efficient and gets the job done. And as a photographer on the run when you're traveling, that's all that matters, right?
There's a lot of debate between flash and LED, and most of the people will talk about all the power, the sync, and also the quality or whatever. But they never talk about the usability. And in reality, in the real world, when you actually run around shooting pictures with lightings, they never put those in count when they talk about flash.
No.
And when it comes to, they say, well, you got to know your flash, so you can just nail it in one shot. It's like,
good luck with that. I've been shooting for 10 years, and I still cannot nail it in one shot. And if I could, I can always make it better. Because actually, it's never perfect.
In a certain way, you can. You could either use the TT. You know, the sun is not out there changing a lot. ETTL. Or if you just shoot that same style over and over and over, you nailed it. But then your image becomes boring because you can't do anything new.
Yes. Yeah. These small lights give you the flexibility and brings back the ability for you to be creative. Definitely a creative tool. Very nice. Actually, I'm curious. Do you have a picture diagram? Oh, there he is. Yeah, so you have the LED. Yeah, there you go. You pretty much explained it to us already, though. Very cool. So what's this about?
So I actually taught photo walk using the Stella light in WPPI for
the past
waiting
one, right?
Photography International. The past one, it's in February.
Yes. So what did you do there? Oh, hey, look, there's you on the right. Is that you not shooting pictures but just holding the lights?
Hey, I'm
you
there
became
to
the light assistant.
I'm actually setting up the light for all the students to shoot because that's one thing about doing is when you have one light, you can have 10, 20 people shooting at the same time.
Yes. Yep.
You don't have to share a trigger.
Right. And that makes it so easy for all the students to shoot at once. Even an iPhone user can shoot, right? Because that one light source is shared.
Have iPhone. They use an iPhone to shoot.
I
awesome.
wouldn't be surprised. It's funny because I see you in both these pictures and you're just busy setting up the lights. That's hilarious. But here I see your CL. Is this a CLX8 or a CLX10 here? This is pretty big.
That's a CLX10 actually.
Okay. Oh, okay. It's the bigger one.
Which is the new model they have. That's like 10,000 lumen.
Yes. And then this one. This one is a smaller one, right? This is the CL2000.
That is the CLX2000. Yes.
Right. And over here, this is the CLX10 again. Or is that the CLX8? Okay, so you got all of them in this picture: the 10, the CL2000, and the CLX8. Very cool. Very cool. Awesome. Oh, and here's the behind the scene.
Behind the scene. You could actually, if you want something soft like that, you could actually put a softbox there.
Yes, like right here, right?
I think we have a link down there for the softbox, didn't we?
Yes, there is a link down there. I'm not going to tap on the link, guys, because there's just so many. But the first link is the light kit, and then as you scroll through, there's the softbox. The softbox is not that expensive, but it really adds versatility to your light. And the nice thing about these softboxes is it's pretty small and compact, so you can probably collapse it. Is this one collapsible, Jeremy? Or did they have to stay big when you're traveling?
No, it doesn't collapse, but it's small enough.
Right, it is small. So there's personal preference here and there. I tend to use umbrellas when I can, but with LEDs, they tend to fit better in softboxes because what happens is softbox wraps around this and the LED is centered. But this is a small one, and I think it's under $100. It's more like closer to $50, right? So anyway, the link's down below. Check it out. Yeah. Oh, this is the result, right?
That's the one of this picture with the result.
Yes. Nice.
In this photo shoot, we go with the Game of Thrones theme, so you can tell.
Yes, obviously. Yeah. Very nice.
So we choose to do outdoor shooting with the LEDs and through a movie lightings, cinematic movie lightings. I can use cinematic now.
Yeah. Because it's Game of Thrones and that's modern lighting. Although they tried to be classic
they
too,
have
right?
good lighting, and they are good with the lightings. They're really good.
Yes, I remember. Yeah, not all TV shows or TV series have good lighting. But
Did you watch that show?
I watched a little bit here and there. I don't follow a whole lot, but I watch enough where I enjoy the lighting and I realize all the technical features of the show. Very good.
I watched the whole thing. Love the show.
Cool. So this must be a very exciting photo walk for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta say, the light on her face is very smooth and soft. That's one of the things that pop out to me right away. And also, like her hands aren't too bright, and definitely the part where the sword is, it's not reflective of the light. So again, it's focused on her face, and it's very subtle and soft.
So for this, basically, the softbox. If you look at the previous picture, have softbox light on that.
That's why you have
and
that.
then I got a backlight in the back there behind the trees. You see the left side have some hair light. That's where it came from. So
okay. Again, all LEDs lighting her up, right?
So when you set up LED light, the setting and flash is similar. To be honest, it's almost the same. It doesn't change anything. The only difference is you can see the light and you can't see the light with flash. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, and then you can share the light because you can set up all this light and all your students can shoot. They can see, which means they learn why the lights are set up that way, and you can turn them off right away. You can see the effect. And then once it's all set up, they can shoot the pictures, and you can see, well, that's pretty easy because you set the lights up and you shoot, right? With flash, it's always a guessing game. Like you have to really know where to set the light before you can step back and take the picture.
That's the reason why I talk about when I teach lighting. It's easy to teach LED light. When you learn lighting, it's easier because you see it. You know you make a mistake, you change it. But when you do flash, most people care about is or worry about is that does it trigger? Yeah. Does it flash? Did I lit up my subject? Yeah. They don't care where the light lands. Yeah. When it comes to LED, you can see it. You learn because when you don't even know the light is not about making the light flash. Yes. It's about where you put the light. A lot of people miss that big ones. Yes, I would say yes, where you put the light, and second to that is how much power of the light too. So both of those are very important, and you can't see. Same here, you control the power here too. Yeah. Same thing. Right, yeah, exactly, both of them. And then that's why you can teach lighting with LED much better, because lighting, the principle is the same, whether it's flash, whether it's LED, or whether it's actually natural light. You just have to know how to use a light. That's like ultimate of all. Like before you even buy these lights, you should have a good understanding of how to set up lights and how to use them. But again, as you're learning, LED lights makes it easier to learn because you can see exactly where the light is and the results of it is before you actually step back and take your photo. Yeah, but unfortunately, right now when you go online or go on Facebook learning lighting, people instantly think, oh, let's learn how to use a flash. But learning lighting is more than that. Yes, I agree. Yep. Oh, anyway, another angle. So another angle. So I really like this one. This one's actually mixing with the ambient light, which is sunlight, with the LED light and all that together. So create this look. It looks really oil painting, I would say. Yes, so, I love it. Did you add like textures or did you use any filter? I add texture on the background, on the wall. Okay. That's pretty much it because it's kind of boring. Yeah. No, it completes the picture. The texture does add to the picture. Really nice. Yep, here's the Clx10. So for the photo shoots there, I use all this. I have the Clx10, which is 10,000 lumens. Yes. Because, well, the good thing is the charging time is only 75 minutes. But it lasts for 45 minutes. It's shorter. But because it drags more power, that's kind of makes sense. Yes. The CLI and TLI is the same as the Clx8. The color temperature is also the same. The IP rating is also the same as here. The only difference is it charges faster. It lasts, I think, 5 minutes less use time, and then it's 10,000 lumens. Yeah, and basically when people look at IP rating at 54, they might not realize what it is, but basically it's like splash proof. You can actually shoot when there's water, misty water coming down or light rain, and it'll still be fine because you just blow off the water. Just don't submerge it in water because it's water resistant, not waterproof. If you need a waterproof LED... not this one. Yeah, it's water resistant. So the Clx8 is water resistant. IP54 is resistant. You can have a little moisture on it, you can have a little splash of water here and there, and it'll be fine. But you cannot submerge in water. So the CL2000, the small one, this one is IP68, and it comes as part of the kit with the Clx8 that we have linked below. And this one is waterproof up to 1 meter deep for like 30 minutes.
and shockproof too. So I kind of like this one.
I
definitely
know a few photographer friends who do underwater photo shoot, and they use that light in the swimming pool. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, this thing opens up a whole new world underwater because you have lighting and now you're underwater. Underwater photography will never be the same again with something compact and so robust and durable and powerful as this little sucker here. And plus, you can use it on land too. You can use it underwater or on land and in very dusty environment. Yeah. And if you think about it, it's great for a very dusty environment. Like if you're out in the desert and you want to run cars around where dust and mud flies around, you want to capture that rustic, monster truck dirt splashing everywhere all over the camera, this will be fine. Even if this thing is knocked down, it's really durable too. You can drop this from a meter above and hit the concrete and it should survive. So super robust. Durable. Yeah. But
not that again, dropping this.
Right.
I know it's awful. I haven't dropped it yet.
Right. But on the table. So just kind of putting it into perspective, with the Clx10 here, you have more power, 5 times more powerful than this guy, but it's not waterproof and the battery drains a little bit quicker. So different LEDs for different purposes. When you need more power versus when you need more versatility to be waterproof, water resistance, and whatnot. So the kit that we have linked below has a Clx8, which is a little bit less powerful than Clx10, but it also comes with the CL2000, so you have a good combination there. We call it the portrait kit. But if you need a lot of power, the Clx10 is what you have. And right now, currently, Amazon doesn't carry it, but if you click on the link below, it should give you an idea of what they have. And once they do carry it, the link below will take you to the related lights too. Hopefully, Amazon will have it soon. Clx10, it's pretty awesome light when you need a lot of power. So here's the Clx8. You can see it's got 8,000 lumens, so a little bit less than the Clx10. You get the same CRI, same TLCI. Charge time is 1 to 5 minutes, and runtime is a little bit more than CL10. Good color temperature. Again, the color temperature is consistent between all 3 lights, the CL10, CL8, and CL2000, because when you use them all together, you want them to have the same color temperature so everything's consistent. Right? And then, of course, IP54, again, water resistant, not waterproof. And of course, you have my favorite, which is the one I have.
My favorite too.
Yeah, and it's so nice. It's like, when you have something so small and precious, but it works so well, and you can hold it, you can squeeze it. Well, that's this light for me. 2,000 lumens. Yeah.
For indoor, I don't even use this one. Use that one because. And sometimes I want a spotlight effect, so I have the assistant have them like either monostick or light stand or really high. This has some weight in it. But that one's really light. I could have her like, if it's a female assistant that I can still have her hold up really high, like have her stick up really high.
Right.
It's not that bad. So that one's perfect. I can have it like a spotlight effect, a dome light effect. So it's perfect.
Yes. Halo effect. Yeah. Whoa, look at that. All right,
cool.
Don't
do that.
All right, so, now we're talking about cameras.
So for the photo shoot, the photo walk there, I did use my Fuji X3 and a 35 1.4. For X3 is a crop sensor, so 35 1.4 equated to around 50 millimeters.
Yes.
So that's my favorite setup.
Yep, and again, the links for these items are down below. I'm not going to click to them. Actually, you know what? I might just click to this one, and we'll click back to it. Let's see.
People ask me how come I don't use 85 kind of range to shoot portrait. Not that I don't like it. It's just that I have a soft voice. When I have to shoot 85, I have to stand further away from the subject, and I can't really communicate with the subject that well. So that's why 50 and in crop sensor, 35 millimeter range is my favorite because I can still talk to my subject.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good standing distance. Oh man, we actually had some question from Adam here. I'm actually surprised because I'm been monitoring the live stream, and I'm sorry, Adam, I didn't see your questions come in.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. So Adam asked, isn't it a bit harsh? I think he was probably referring to like the shots you shot in the stairs. And sometimes you do want harsh light because you simulate the actual environment. Because in real life, you do have harsh light. Like, for example, in noontime, when you have bright light coming down from the windows, shooting in, it's harsh light. So sometimes it's edgy. It's not bad to have. If you want to, of course, he asked, do these lights work with umbrellas and softboxes? Absolutely.
Yes,
those diffusers are universal for anything. umbrellas are my favorite because you can collapse them and you can carry them, and when you need to, you can pull it out and it's a big light source. Soft boxes, which we have in the link below, that works as well too. He also has another question. In the portrait kit, is it one light or two light? Very good question. It's not as clear as it should be, but yes, two light. The one that Jeremy holds, the CL8, and the small one that I'm holding, the CL2000. So both these lights come in the portrait kit. Yep, and you're right, the image shows two, and that's why there's two lights. And then yes, so Chenlong Zhang asked the same question, so hopefully that answers the question for both of you. And oh man, at the last comment, Adam said, they don't seem to be answering questions, so I'm bouncing. I'm sorry, Adam. I'm really sorry.
It was his fault. He's the one who controls.
You know, I have this huge iPad on the side. You guys can't see it, but for some reason, it tells me I'm going live, but I cannot see the messages. So sorry about that. I do apologize. I'll be watching this screen right now so that I can make sure we answer all your questions. So moving on. Again, this is the camera that Jeremy uses. It's a Fuji X-T3, which we have highlighted there. It's a nice affordable camera, and combined with this 35mm, because you have a crop sensor, equivalents to about 50mm, which is a good focal length to be able to capture. It's pleasing, but you're also in a good distance so that you can talk to your client without yelling, and you have a good communication, because no matter all the lights, all the camera equipment, the communication with your subject is the most important, because if they can't help you pull off your vision, then you can't get your shot. What was that, Jeremy?
I said that's my favorite setup.
Yes, yeah.
Can't live without it.
Very nice. So the lens I'm also tapping on too, just so you know, that's a 35. So we got some pictures here.
So go back to that last one. This is the lighting setup for that pictures.
Oh yes.
No, the picture. You know which one.
Yes, yeah. Oh yeah, we go all the way back to this one, right?
Yeah. This one.
Right. So this is the picture, and then let's see how Jeremy has set it up.
That's like the behind the scenes. So that's the wall.
Right.
Basically outside, you just move the next one. It's faster.
Okay. Yep. There you go. Yep.
So basically, you can see that's outside. This is Vegas.
Yep.
That's outside. The sun is bright. So So I have a little half shady area there, and so you can see that I have the Clx10 outside. As one of the key lights out there. So because the sunlight is pretty powerful, so I use the most powerful light out there.
Right here.
And then the CL2000 is on this side as a field light. Right. You can see on her face, there's a shadow, but I just need to open up just a little bit. I don't need to clear out the shadow. I want a shadow in there, but I don't want to be black.
Yes.
So I just feel that a little bit.
Yes.
But then at first I feel like, okay, her neck and the chin it's gone. So I have my assistant. You see how he's holding a softbox with another CLX8 in there with the lowest power, and just from down there, it just fill up the chin and the neck about to create that look. So you will see her skin, you can see her details, but you also see the highlight and the shadow at the same time.
Very nice. Yeah, very good use of lighting, and I love the highlights and shadows, because if the light is bright everywhere, you don't have a sense of depth, right? Like the way I'm lighting myself right now, you can see I'm brighter here and darker here, because I want you to have the perception of depth, because it's more pleasing. And it's exactly what Jeremy uses. He uses the brighter light in conjunction with the bright sun on that side too, to give it the nice highlight. And then you have the CL2000 just to kind of light up the other side a little bit.
Open up the shadow.
Open up the shadow. And then right below it is the other CL8 in a softbox to kind of light up her neck too. So very, very nice setup. Good use of lighting. That's why you have to have multiple light sources, right? You can't have just one really good light and that's all you have. But you need to know what lights you have. You need to use them accordingly to produce your image. Yep. Oh.
Moving on. So besides this teaching environment, I also do that with my bridal, stuff too. So this is San Francisco City Hall. You can see the lightings up there. I believe I have the CX8 and also the portrait kit. So I have the CX back there as a key light because I put on this. So I have a distant shot from the back, and then I have my assistant holding. I don't let my assistant hold this because this is too heavy. So they always hold. Actually, that's not my assistant. That's my wife.
She can be your assistant, double role.
She's my assistant. She's holding the CL2000 there as a fill light for the face.
So
that's the setup for that pictures.
Yes.
And I'm actually shooting with a Fuji GFX50R mirrorless medium format camera with this.
Wow. I knew something was up with this photo when I looked at it, because the shallow depth of field behind her it's so pleasing in a way that I usually don't see when I take pictures. It's definitely
that could be the fact that I'm using a 110mm f2 lens for medium format, which is equivalent to medium format, which is around 87mm, so it's a portrait lens.
Yes.
But the depth of field in medium format is a bit different than a full frame, so you just can't tell why, but it is different.
Right, so I'm gonna highlight the medium format camera so you guys can see. It's not that expensive, that's a medium format, but hey, here's a trick. You see the one that we have linked below, that's for a new one. But if you search Amazon, you click on that link, it will link you to a used one, and you can get it pretty cheap from Amazon too. So I think it's coming from Fuji factory too. So make sure you check who the seller is, but oftentimes we see the used GFX 50, which is a medium format camera, for like half that price. So check that out. Check that out if you're interested in a medium format camera, because Fuji really introduced them to the market and made them very price competitive. So look at the results you can get with that camera. I mean, it speaks for itself.
It's a little bit more expensive than a full frame camera, but not a whole lot. So it's quite affordable.
It puts you on a whole different league, right? You know, everyone's you know, you have a lot of people shooting crop, and then you have the full frame shooters, right? Well, the full frame shooters are like the crop shooters when you talk to the medium format guys. But hey, we're not talking about that here. So let's talk about more photos. Wow.
So more photo from the same session, also with the GFX50R and the light, of course, obviously.
Beautiful. I love how she's so playful into the shoot, because like even with the great lens, the great lighting, if you have a model that can really interact and you can capture personality like you did here, it really makes the photo one step above a normal
Actually,
photo.
the picture on the right there is actually an action photo. So I just have her keep moving, kicking and swinging the dress. And then the light's constant. I just keep clicking and capturing, and this is a good frame that I got. Yeah,
very nice. I love it. It captures just the right expression and the right motion, and it has a sense of motion in it too. Ooh, so this is this right here. Now we got the
this is the setup.
Camera.
GFX50R medium format, and also the GF 110mm f2.
Yeah.
Really amazing. This is like a ultimate portrait session.
Yeah, the best camera you can buy for a portrait. I mean, I won't say I've had experience with it, but if Jeremy's saying this, I actually have a lot of faith in it, because Jeremy's been shooting for 15 years as a professional wedding photographer, destination pre-wedding photographer. He's been using all different equipments. He's been ambassador for different brands and everything. If he tells you this is the best medium format portrait setup, I will believe him.
I feel like you're putting me on the table here, man. Don't blame me because it goes wrong. It's all David's fault.
What? Well, if he says it's a good setup, maybe read the reviews then. But
no. It's a good setup. I love it. Because for the GFX50, they actually make two versions. The 50S is the professional it's actually more beefier, bigger. And the 50R is actually stand for retro. So you can tell it's like even if it's a medium format, but it's like a retro rangefinder type camera. So it's stylish. I'm saying I'm like half a hipster type, so I really love that setup.
One thing that sticks out to me a lot when I look at this medium format camera is that it looks, I can't tell how big it is, but it doesn't look bigger than my typical camera, or is it, I'm being confused because there's nothing to compare to right in this picture?
I would say it's a little bit smaller than a Canon 1DX.
Oh, really? Okay, because I shoot with the Canon 1DX, and that thing is a monster. It's full frame, but if this is medium format and smaller, that's a win-win.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. So again, the link for the camera and lens is right below. And then this is a beautiful, it looks like a sunset photo with the light.
It is sunset. It is sunset photo. So the Stella Clx10 also, like I said, it's powerful enough that you can shoot outdoor with to go against the sun. This is a sunset picture. The sun is behind, and I'm using the light as a field light in the front. So it just, I'm telling you, constant light is powerful enough now.
Yes, and you know, normally it's very difficult to shoot this picture in bright sun because the depth of field is very shallow. That means you have to open up your aperture a lot to get this shallow depth of field that Jeremy's got here, right?
This is 1.4.
Yes. Yeah, so if you're shooting at 1.4, you better have some big ND filters out there if you want to use your flash. But because he's using these continuous LED lights, he can control the brightness with the shutter speed, and you don't have to be stuck with sync speed with the flash.
Exactly.
Yeah. So another huge advantage.
I want to say.
Oh, really? My bad. I'll pretend I didn't say it. You can say it again.
No, you keep going.
Why don't you recap it?
You're on the roll. Keep going.
Yeah.
No, you go ahead.
So exactly, like one of the best features of these LEDs is like when I shoot outside and I want to shoot shallow depth of field and I want to open up my lens to get that shallow depth of field, I don't want to spend time screwing on an ND filter just so I can stop it down to have the darkness from the ND filter, but still get the wide open aperture, right? It's kind of hard to imagine if you don't shoot shallow depth of field or you're not very familiar with apertures and setting a camera that way. But just know that this type of shot to shoot with flash is very difficult unless you have a lot of ND filters. But with LED lights, you're able to control your shutter speed and still light your subject and still keep the shallow depth of field. So in a nutshell, if you understand what I said, great. If you don't understand, don't worry, you'll eventually understand it because you'll want to shoot something like this. This looks really amazing, shallow depth of field against the sunset. I'll leave it as that.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. So proof that you are using the CLX8, or is that the 10? Right?
That's a 10. So you can see how the highlights on the face is actually just lit up. So you know that it's powerful enough in this kind of situations.
Absolutely. Yep. Very nice. Beautiful.
Okay.
Yep, and then we're
so that's at Clx10.
Yep, Clx10, 10,000 lumens, got 45-minute runtime, same color temperature as the other lights, IP rating 54, which means it's weather resistant, so splashes are okay, light mist is okay, but don't submerge in water. You have the good CRI and TLCI, both of them above 90, which means they're true to natural light. So when you light any subject with these lights, what you see is what you naturally see when you light your subjects with the sun. So good CRI means it looks like the sun's lighting it. So that's the Clx10. And then here's your next slide.
Let's talk about there's some situation that LED has a better benefit than others lightings. So here's some of the situation. The next slide, please.
Yes.
So for this two picture on the left one, it is some kind of temple, which you can tell is sunset. So the closing, I have to bust that light, that setup really fast. So using LED, boom, get it done.
It's the convenience, right?
Because this is the problem. Some of this location they close really early, but you see how the sunset behind it. You want that kind of twilight sunset.
Yeah,
it's always had that until they close.
Yes, right
right
after they close or right around there. Yeah. It's like, it's perfect lighting. Why are you kicking me out now?
So back then, like shooting, it's always crushing at the last minute because you want to wait for the sky to turn like that before you take the pictures. But you probably have like 1 or 2 minutes left before it got kicked out. So using LED is perfect because what you see is what you get. You see a picture, you take it. Let's go.
It's so compact. You can hold it up. You can set it up quickly. You fire it. What you see is what you get, and you go. And also, some of these locations, security is always a hassle. They see you setting up light stands and taking your time. Number one, it's bulky, so that captures their attention. And number two, you're there fiddling around with the darn thing for a couple of minutes. That also captures their attention because you can take a quick picture and you're fine. You just go. But if you take your picture and you set up your flash and everything, now you're creating a hazard for other people. Tripping hazard, you're creating like a mess, a sore thumb. People that come there want to see the architecture, but instead they have to look at you and your big umbrella and all your photo gear, right? So the longer you're at one spot, it's not good for anyone, right? Your client loses trust in you. You don't have the credibility as shooting perfected photos quickly. You have security guards on your tail, and you just have all these passengers walking around that can potentially trip or cause problems around you too. So the faster you take the picture is better. And with LEDs, you can set up and move quickly. Yes.
Exactly. So same thing with the loop. That's the loop there.
Yes.
I think that's a time that they actually don't want people to shoot there even at nighttime. They'll close. So they have police officers kind of patrolling around and kick people out. So you just want to get there, like give it like 2-3 minutes, sit there, post, and get the lighting right, and boom, get a picture and get out. Same thing. They're not going to give you half an hour to set up all your flash, all free flash setup, waiting there, and it's just impossible. Yes. So you just have to. You want to get good picture in there. That's what you have to do.
Yes, yeah. Back in the days when I didn't have LEDs, when I was in a crunch like this, what I really did is I got my cell phone out and I used whatever cell phone light I have. Those are never powerful enough. This is like easily, I don't know, like 100 times more brighter than the cell phone lights. I don't quote me on that, but just know that this is sufficient, whereas my cell phone lights was never. So getting a shot like this, I understand how critical it is in a short time span where you shouldn't even be there shooting, but you can still pull off and take a shot. Yeah, it's impressive. So let's move on to the next one.
All right. Okay. So this one is connected to that shot I had before, the tram. So we actually get on the tram this time.
Oh,
and it's a moving tram, okay?
Yes.
Now, do you think, you see there's a shoes next on the right side? There's another passengers. So
no, that's your assistant holding the light, right?
Tram.
Oh, no, they're passengers? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely don't want...
there's people on the tram.
Yes.
You don't want to have any crazy lighting setup in there. So I have a LED on top, just kind of like how, like a ceiling light on top.
Like this,
and
right?
They're basically getting up. Yeah, exactly. They're walking down the stairs and then just they float there and look up and you look down and give me this look, blah, 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 and then, kind of told them what to feel, how to pose, and leave it up, boom, one shot. And then we get out of the station and go to the next location.
Right, and as a professional, you're always liable for damages and hurting people. So if you can't, you probably can't even set up a light stand in this narrow environment. But if you could, just imagine if that light stand ever gets knocked over and hits someone in the head. Oh man, your career, if you don't have the right insurance, could be at risk because you always have to be worried about having big equipment, bulky equipment. So with LEDs, it eliminates that worry because you can always just hold it in your hand, get the shot, and move. You're quick, right? And also, if you're like climbing stairs or flights or just moving along quickly in different locations, so much easier than just carrying something heavy. I mean, it's like when you're in high school and you're carrying a backpack full of books, right? Now you can carry your iPad. That's bad analogy.
Think about this.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's not talk about this one first. So I want to share.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
There's people saying that's okay. So there's people saying that okay, you're not supposed to photograph in the public.
Yes.
Right.
Well, okay.
But the reason is because a lot of professional photographers have 3 or 4 or 40 inches softbox light stand. Landing on the pavement and blocking a lot of stuff to take that photo. That's why they won't let the city won't let you do that.
Right.
But if we have a cell phone, you have a camera, we take picture anytime, anywhere.
Yep.
Right.
Yes.
So as long as you're not blocking people, you're not destructive.
Yes.
You could basically take picture anywhere. Honestly.
Exactly.
Right now with the Lumina camera, it's so small. Right, my XT3 is so small, it's handheld and have a LED. You could take professional story cinematic picture anywhere.
Yes.
It's just that you have to take those huge softbox and get those off campus pictures, then of course, then I have nothing to say. If that's what you want. But if you really just want to take pictures, you can.
Yes.
Just don't be destructive.
Exactly. And as long as you're quick and you don't have a lot of bulky equipment, they're not going to bother you too much. But again, the most important thing is be quick and don't have bulky equipment, because pretty much you see guests shooting with their own point and shoot all the time. No one says anything, right? Because they're not bulky and you don't take time to set up, right? And that's what LEDs allow. Oh, I should stop to answer Sophia's question. So Sophia also has a question. I don't know what question you have, Sophia. You just said that, so do I. So I guess you're probably curious about what lights come with the portrait kit, right? So Jeremy, how many lights do we have in the portrait kit?
It comes with a Clx10 and also what David had, it's a CL2000, two lights.
So the portrait kit comes with these two lights as well as a bunch of accessories. So you're good to go. Both the lights have high CRIs. Both the lights are 5600 Kelvin. They have built-in battery. The bigger one is weather resistant. The smaller one is impact resistant and also waterproof, up to 1 meter down deep for half an hour. So you have nice versatility with these two lights. They're good to set up for portrait sessions. Yep. So hopefully that answers your question, Sophia. If I didn't answer your question, if we didn't answer your question, feel free to ask again. So we'll try our best. All right, next slide. Ready, Jeremy?
Okay. Yeah.
I really like this picture.
So here's another scenario. When you have a reflective surface like glass or mirror, and you put your subject next to it, and you try to use a flash to it, it's going to be very difficult to get the image, because you don't want any of those light to reflect from that glass.
Yes.
Right? So if you look at my lighting diagram, which is the next slide.
Yep.
So you see how I have two LED there, and then have a little, I believe those are magazines that I used back then. I have two assistants holding a magazine, blocking the light off from the glass. Just on the subject. So that way the glass will have no reflection, that I could clearly see the landscape, the light scenes outside, matching with the bride.
Right, because if you look back here, you can see a beautiful light scene back there. Because if you had the flash glaring off the glass, then you can see a bright white light and not the nice city scene. Very cool. And also the barn doors might help with controlling the light. But again,
barn door would definitely help.
Yeah. But I think the magazine has the advantage of just being even a little bit longer. So depending on the purpose, but at least if you had the barn doors, it would help for sure. Sophia asked if there are any promotional codes. Unfortunately, there are no promotional codes, but Amazon always has the best prices. So stick around, check out the links below, and just keep your eyes on them, because over time they do go on sale. These lights, they are really great, high quality. So they're not the cheapest lights, but you do get what you pay for. They're high quality, they're very robust, and they're very compact and great for on the spot, on the go shooting, high quality lights. And also coming from a brand that's specialized in underwater and rugged sports, lighting. Right? So they know how to build rugged equipment. So you get that benefit too. So yeah,
I think they build lights for divers too, so you can imagine how doable those qualities are.
Yeah. So high quality lights, and just like in general with LED lights, it really helps lower the learning curve and helps you create amazing photography using lights and easy. So it allows you to easily set your lights quickly without the bulky gear, so you can spend the time to capture a shot quickly and get out there, and that just opens the door to shooting in more locations, like on the bus or in areas where normally professionals can't set up because they just cause too much disruption. But bulky equipment, taking time, causing an eyesore for the guests. So if you're quick and you got lightweight equipment, you can get the shots, and that's what LEDs can do for you. Cool. So hopefully that answers your question, Sophia. If it doesn't, let us know if you have other questions.
I feel that this is the last slide. So another thing
great.
This is the last one.
Okay.
This is Venice again. This is at nighttime. I'm not sure if you go to the next slide. Can I see the next slide? That's the last one.
Yeah.
So this is Florian. It's the oldest cafe in the world.
Ah.
So it's historic.
Yes.
Basically, the lighting inside is amazing. So you don't want any powerful lighting to overcome all that. So we just use a little LED.
Yes.
It's just small LED there, to lit them up. So this is one of the situation that LED overcome flash because the painting they don't want powerful flash to kill all that. Those are vintage paintings in there. So so in this case area they don't let you use flash photography.
Yes, and so the LED is inside there, inside the
outside.
Oh, it's outside.
We're not allowed to go outside. Yeah, it's outside. So from the outside.
Oh, but it's interesting that the LED didn't glare against the glass. I'm surprised.
Because it's a man, remember?
Ah, well, oh, this is an open window, or is there glass in front of them?
It's no glass. It's open.
Oh.
It's open. It's open.
Oh, okay,
There's
gotcha,
no glass.
gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
That's why. But on the side, the left and right is glass. So
okay. Yeah, I see now. I see now. This is where LED trumps flash because it's very subtle. You just need a little bit of power. You don't want to just spread the light everywhere. You want to just have low power in a very controlled area of light. Very cool. Beautiful.
Yep. And that kind of conduct, there you go. I mean, personally, I would recommend you want to start doing portraits. This setup of the kit with this 2 light with all the accessory will allow you to create a lot of amazing portraits. So I would definitely start with this kit.
Yeah, I mean, this kit comes with everything you need to get started. Again, very high quality lights, very compact, durable. They have the built-in battery. They're weather resistant. The small one is water resistant up to 1 meter for 30 minutes. And once you charge up, you have a lot of juice to go for. The small one can last nearly an hour. The other one can last about 55 minutes. So a lot of power. You got flexibility. You got options. And again, just the basic principle takeaway is when you have LED lights, they're compact. And they're also, what you see is what you get. So the combination of them being compact and what you see is what you get allows you to quickly set up, take your picture, and get the heck out of there. So it opens the door to shooting in a lot of other locations normally that you cannot shoot because you can't carry bulky equipment and it takes time to set up bulky equipment to those locations. So that's pretty much in a nutshell. Let's zoom in on us here. So, oh wow. You're kind of blurry. I guess the resolution is cutting out a little bit.
Yeah, well, it's okay. I have my coffee.
Oh man, I gotta drink mine too. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful. If you guys have any questions, let us know. I'm not sure if you guys can ask questions in the bottom of this video, but if you want to ask questions, hop over to our channel that we talk about photography on, and that's called Pixel Stabbers on YouTube. And we talk about all this type of equipment. We'll have the same video on Pixel Stabbers on YouTube too, so you can leave comments there, and we'll be happy to answer any questions you have. And if you guys have any questions, you can ask them now. Otherwise, that kind of wraps up our live stream today. And we want to thank you for taking the time to tune in and watch and ask questions and be interactive. We appreciate your support, and we hope to continue to produce more content like this in the future. So signing out, that's Jeremy, and I'm David, and we shall see you next time.
Bye.
Adios. Bye.
Adios.
See ya. And we are going to be out in 3 seconds. 2, 1, and we are
bye.